Hello, thank you for joining me. You're watching Esther from Stampin' Star Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. Now, last year I had the privilege and the pleasure of being able to be an on-stage display stamper, and I made this cute little birdhouse box using the Petal Palette stamp set. Now, rather than trying to recreate this birdhouse for you, I thought I'd do it on a card form today, so slightly different. So it's quite a drawn out process, but I hope I'm going to keep the video as short as possible to get you through. Right, let's start with some Marina Mist, and we're going to go in with our sponge brayer, so we're going to roll in one direction, picking up that colour. I'm going to start off the paper and then rolling onto the card so we don't have too much of a spongy look, and then just keep rolling down to about the centre of the very vanilla cardstock. Then going to roll back up again and go in this direction just to lay that colour down. Now don't be tempted to press too hard, just keep rolling until the colour comes on. Now I'm going to do the same with the bottom half but using Old Olive. Once that's done, I'm going to get the leaf stamp from the Petal Palette, and we're going to try and create some branches across the page and then use the colour again to create dimension and stamp again. Right, we're going to work on the birdhouse next, and there are several pieces to this. So you need just a piece for your bird, a 1 by 3 inch. This is to do the, do they call them the gables? Across the top of the birdhouse. I've cut a square down diagonally, which is 1 3/4 by 2.5 to end up with a triangle. A piece to use for your circle punch, which will come in for the nest later. 1 3/4 inch by 3 inch, which will be go behind the nest, and the top of the nest box will be 2 inches by 3 inches. So I will put those measurements in the description, and I hope you can keep up with that. I'm going to grab our Hardwood stamp and using Crumb Cake to ink this all up. Now, because of the small pieces, I'm going to put the pieces onto the stamp, and also it gives me the placement that I want from the image. So I'm going to place my right pieces. So this one's going to be the front of the birdhouse, the roof, the back, and then the pieces for the sides. Then I'm going to grab a piece of paper and then press down on all those pieces of card. A good press all over, make sure that all the areas are covered. And then I'm going to just flip this over. Then I'm just going to use a sponge with my Crumb Cake just to sponge the edges and give it a bit more depth of colour. Using the classic label punch, I can cut out 2 pieces from here. I'll sponge around those later. Then with your front piece here, you need to grab yourself a post-it note, because it's very difficult to feed through the punch. I'm using the 1.5 inch punch to help me feed this through to the punch. Now, in order to know where to punch out the circle, I'm lining up each side to the edge of the punch. Oops, it's fallen off. Come back. And then I'm putting it in up until the line matches the line underneath the top of the Stampin' Up logo, if that makes sense. So I'm putting it where, about there. So I'm just going to concentrate while I just cut this out. Make sure I get it nice and straight. Hold your breath, and there we go. And then get your sponge and then just a sponge inside the circle as well to create depth, and that will sit on that piece there. So we're going to do the bird and then the circle bit next. So in fact you can use the punched out circle, should have thought of this, shouldn't I, for your nest if you wanted to. The way I created the nest is just use some scissors because I want a bit of a curve on it. Now you don't want it looking too woody, so I put a bit of the put some green leaves on top, and then also using the speckles from the set to go over it as well. Just add a few speckles on it with the crumb cake, just to make it look more like a nest and not too solid. Okay, so those are those elements. Right, next we're going to work on the bird, and we're going to use So Saffron and Marina Mist. Now you can use Stampin' Write markers. I haven't got those in these colours, so I'm just going to use what I've got. Putting the ink up to the bird, so I can see where I'm applying the ink. So just doing it along the breast and along the feet, and then the rest of the bird in the Marina Mist. Once that colour's laid down, you can get your blender pen, pick up some of the yellow and just colour in the front of the bird and his wings. Once you've done that, you can cut him out and then he's ready to go into the nest. So line up your bird and position him inside to make sure he actually fits the circle. You might just want to make a pencil mark so you know where that goes, and then work out which elements you want added as dimensions. So you probably want the nest, maybe the top of the bird on dimensionals, and then the piece that goes on top. So the triangular piece is going to fit behind, and then these two pieces will then go along the top of the triangle, like so. To complete the card, I'm using Colourful Seasons and the Seasonal Layers Thinlit dies, and using the branch from the die and the blossom. So I went ahead and stamped the flowers in pink pirouette. I then got the stamens and placed them on top of my stamped image, and then put the block on top so that the stamps would stick to these. And then go in with your ink, and then you can align them back on there. And these have matching dies, so I've already gone ahead and in true TV style, here's some I made earlier. So just to give a bit of dimension to the flowers, I've lost my tool that I need. Give me a sec. I'm using the end of my Pokey Tool. Now I'm going to do small circular motions on the back of the petals, on all of them. And when you turn it over, I'm just going to press in the centre also. So this just helps to give it a 3D dimension effect. Don't worry about the creases. I just think it helps it make it look like a real flower. And they're ready to stick on your card and assemble. And there you have your cute birdhouse card using the Petal Palette. I've gone ahead and stuck the branch on. If it hangs over the edge, just trim the edges off, and then you can add the the blossom to that as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Do give me a thumbs up if you've liked it and comment below, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Hope you have a really good day, and here's to spring. Take care. Bye bye.